Hey, Kingdom Kids! You better hurry. The adventure's about to start.
Cece, it's story time. Cece, it's story time! Cece always telling the stories, pink hair and socks, and she's never boring. Whiteboard with the orange tie. You need a recap? Derek is your guy. Oh, with a flow so cold. Everybody get ready for adventure mode. Heather with the crew that's so disruptive. Hey, what's that? Friendly interruption! Kingdom Kids, yeah, Kingdom Kids. Kingdom Kids, yeah, Kingdom Kids!
Okay, Kingdom Kids, today's lesson is really sweet. It's about how David shows kindness to I'm doing it again! I'm sorry, I know I need to keep it a secret, so you can find out during our lesson. But one thing doesn't have to be a secret, and that's our great big question. Our great big question for today is, who should we be kind to? But before we answer that, we need a recap. Take it away, Derek!
In our last lesson, we learned about how Saul was jealous of David and was chasing him down to kill him. At that time, David and his men were hiding in the back of a cave. Saul and his army passed by the cave, and Saul decided to enter that cave. David snuck up on Saul and silently cut the corner of his robe. Saul didn't even notice. David recognized that Saul was still the king. He knew that it would not be right to kill the king because he was chosen by God. When Saul left the cave, David came running out after him, shouting, "Look, there was a chance for me to hurt you while you were in the cave, but instead I showed mercy toward you." David held up the corner of Saul's robe that he had cut. When Saul saw this, he asked for David to promise to be kind to his family and not hurt them when he became king. David promised, and they both went back home. Wow, another touching story. Anyways, back to you, Cece.
Wow! You know, that story almost reminds me of this one time that my cousin Freddie got
We interrupt this regularly scheduled program to bring you this friendly interruption. Hopefully Joe will make you laugh with today's joke.
Hey, Kingdom Kids! Back at it again with another joke! And this time you're gonna laugh. Now, what do you get when you cross a fish and an elephant? Swimming trunks! Oh, that's so good, right? Right?
Do you know what? I'm sure his jokes will be better with time. Hopefully. Take it away, Cece.
All right, that was pretty terrible. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for
Adventure Mode!
David was a good king and led God's people in the ways of the Lord. With God's help, David defeated many of his enemies. Now that there was peace in the land, David started to think about Saul and his family. Before David was forced to run away from the palace, he was best friends with Saul's son, Prince Jonathan. They loved each other like brothers. Saul and his family were killed in a great battle, but David remembered a promise he made to Jonathan that he would be kind to his family and wondered if any of them were still alive. So David sent for a man who was one of Saul's servants, Ziba, and said, "Is there anyone left of Saul's family? If so, I'd like to show him some kindness in honor of Jonathan." Ziba answered him and told him that Jonathan had a son named Mephibosheth, who was lame in both legs, which meant that he could not walk. David sent for him, and when he got to the palace, he bowed in front of David and showed him honor and respect. David told him, "I'd like to do something special for you in memory of your father Jonathan. To begin with, I'm returning to you all the properties of your grandfather Saul. Furthermore, from now on, you'll eat all your meals at my table." Mephibosheth was baffled. Why would the king of Israel take this boy under his wing and show him such kindness? David told Ziba to go with Mephibosheth to some of Saul's land that he used to have around the country and to take care of him. Mephibosheth ate his meals at David's table like he was part of the family, and David continued to show kindness to him for all the days of his life. And that's what we learned on
Adventure Mode!
I told you today's lesson was really sweet. David was best friends with Jonathan, Saul's son. In fact, the Bible says that they were as close as brothers. But before Jonathan died, he told David to be kind to his family. And after everything that Saul put David through, David didn't owe Saul's family anything. David didn't just show kindness to the people who were nice to him, or the people who could do something for him. After all, what can a small crippled boy do for a king? But David still showed kindness to little Mephibosheth. So, who should we be kind to? Everyone! Well, that's all for today, Kingdom Kids. Until next time, bye!